was a tough opening game to the homestand. Angels dropped this one a final of 7-3, but not a bad night for that guy right there, Shohei Ohtani. 2 extra base hits, including that monster home run to put the Angels on the board in the 6th inning. Welcome to Angels Live. I'm Alex Curry. Now, Angels dropped game 1 to Tampa Bay, but we did see a lot of action, including a monster home run from Shohei Ohtani, his 9th of the season. We saw some solid defense from David Fletcher. Mark Gubiza will join me in just a little bit to break it all down. We'll hear from Joe Madden a little later in the show and get his thoughts on this game. But right now, let's head inside and bring in Jose Mota and Mark Langston. First of all, guys, great job on the Players broadcast. That was so much fun to listen to. And even though we didn't get Shohei Ohtani on the mound, he still put on a show at the plate tonight.
Alex, these two guys made it so easy for me, and really, I had a terrific time. I really thought I was in the dugout talking to my buddies when I was playing, but at Langer, you made it so easy, you and Gooby. But let's talk about Shohei Ohtani and what he brings to the table. First of all, here's how the day starts. Shohei Ohtani was supposed to start today on the mound. You have a luxury in having a two-way player. All of a sudden, he becomes an impactful player here in this game with his bat.
Certainly his right elbow wasn't able to make it to the mound, but that right elbow was still could get into the plate, and those legs play. Certainly in the first inning, this plays right here where Ohtani was able to hit that. It takes a little funky hop, but Shohei never stops at first base, continues his path on a ball that it just ricochets off the shortstop, turns it into double. And then you look at that second at bat where this is a great pitch from Tyler Glasnow. That breaking ball, what does he do? He studies, goes back and looks at it. Next at bat, gets that breaking ball. Where is it at? It's up a little bit more. Shohei doesn't miss it. It was as high as it was far. This was a bomb, and Shohei knew it. He didn't have to sprint around the bases. He knew when that left the bat that this one was going to be a long, long home run.
Yes, and I think studying swings has changed so drastically now, Alex, and we were talking about this during the broadcast, and Gooby and I were saying, hey, Jeremy Reed says, hey, for his breaking ball guys, understand hitters, go out there and get the bottom of the baseball to have more success. And we mentioned during the broadcast, Alex, you and your big curveball, you saw a lot of guys swing over the top. So teaching that approach now has been beneficial to a lot of hitters.
Yeah, we've seen that with Shohei. Certainly last we saw it in Seattle on a changeup that was down. He was able to go down and get it, hit that home run in right field. This is a breaking ball once again that spins over the middle of the plate. A guy like Shohei Ohtani is not missing those here in 2021.
By the way, outstanding job. You took over today, my friend, and I thank you for that. I had a blast with you.
It's a blast, obviously, when we get a chance to talk baseball, and we'd love to have had a W here. That's the bottom line, and Angels, great comeback, but weren't able to finish that one off.
Alex?
Yes, a question for you guys. We're talking Shohei Ohtani here, right? And you're talking about different pitches. And when you have a guy who's also a pitcher, but then he's at the plate, how much of an edge does he have having a deeper understanding to some of these pitches?
Yeah, I think there's always an edge when you're a guy that's on the mound. You know how difficult that job is, and you can sit in the batter's box and you know you can study it and really understand the spins and where the ball's coming in. And it doesn't take Shohei, a guy who's been on the mound under those circumstances, to be able to translate that into the batter's box. I think it's always going to be an advantage for a guy that knows the craft out there, what that guy's trying to do to you, and knows how to get to that and able to really translate that to the batter's box. And he's having a special season here to start this season off.
Alex, we know, I mean, baseball is such a mental game. The separation that Shohei possesses between separating one thing from the other, we saw it when he hurt his elbow, but you know what? He's a super freak. Is that good enough?
He is, and this team is better when he is out there and he's in the lineup. Great stuff tonight. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, I don't know if you can hear the chants behind me, but Mark Gubiza is here on the set. He's going to join me. We're going to break down this game, talk Shohei Ohtani, talk pitching, and take a look ahead to tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. Well, the Angels drop game 1 to Tampa Bay, a final of 7-3. It was tough for them out of the gates. We'll tell you why in just a moment. Welcome back to Angels Live. Alex Curry here alongside Mark Gubiza. We knew it was going to be a tough day for the Angels bats because Tyler Glasnow was on the mound. He's one of the top pitchers, and he came into this game lights out. Only gave up 2 hits in the first 5 innings. and then gave up 2 home runs.
Yeah, I mean, his fastball was touching 100 miles an hour. His slider was really good. His curveball was unhittable, especially coming into the season. You know, and even into this game, his curveball is really, really good. But I think there were some pretty good adjustments made by the Angels in that inning to get back in it with Shohei Ohtani with a 2-run home run, and then Anthony Rendon with a home run as well. But I'll tell you what, I just watching him from that angle by the field, watching how much leverage he gets from that 6'8" frame and be able to get behind the baseball so well. That added slider is making him that much better. But his curveball, his spin rate was off the charts in this game. He got some chases well out of the strikes. So a couple of those curveballs didn't even make it to home plate, and he got some chases, 8 strikeouts, and he got a fastball or 2 by Mike Trout, who coming into the game was one of the best in all of baseball as far as hitting a fastball. So he got that by him at 100 miles an hour.
He also had a pretty impressive catch that I don't even think he knew he caught until after it was in his glove.
Yeah, they just reacted to just having that glove there. The ball somehow found his glove. I mean, it was right back up the middle. And with a frame like that 6'8" frames, there's a lot of things that go wrong in your delivery. But he ends up in pretty good fielding position. Made a nice play on that liner.
Now, he only had given up 2 home runs heading into this game, and then he gave up 2 home runs all season, and then 2 home runs in the 6th inning to the Angels. What did you see from the Angels to make adjustments and get 2 home runs?
Even going back to what Shohei Ohtani did, he looked at the iPad and figured out what was the breaking ball looking at that first time when he got him out. So then he made that adjustment, getting that breaking ball out in front, trying to get underneath the baseball, not over top of it or hitting on the middle part of the baseball, getting on top, and he hit that one out the dead center field. You could see that baseball. It was a great view I had down there, how that ball was hit so hard, so deep. And his reaction too, Glasnow, like, wow, that ball was hit hard. And then Anthony Rendon just doing the same thing. He went out and got his and turned on that very well to left field. So some really good swings by the Angels. And I felt that they hadn't given up those 2 runs there in the 9th inning when Raisel Iglesias gave up that 2-run home run. I still believe they firmly come back and win that game because they had all the momentum. The bullpen at that point, Patrick Sandoval threw the ball really, really well. Junior Guerra, excellent too again.
Well, let's stay with the Rays and let's talk about Willy Adames because he had himself a game. Double, home run. What did he do well tonight?
He has really good power. I was looking at his numbers coming in. Not a lot of good swings so far. This, like most of the Rays hitters this season at this point, have not really put it all together. But he's had good power going the other way. And Mike Trout almost ran and got to that baseball. That was scolded off the bat by Adames. And then this one, he turns on it. You can see the kind of power he has. Last year during the run to the World Series, so really impressive. That went 446 feet for Adames. And yeah, you can take your time going around the bases when you hit a ball like that. So he's an impressive player, really good defender, shortstop position. But I think with that bat, when it gets going, it's a very difficult out.
And you had a completely new perspective tonight, sitting down there almost in the dugout. What was your favorite part about being down there?
The thing is to see how the hitter's trying to react and see the baseball. Sometimes as a pitcher, you almost want to be down there just to see that and to see how difficult it is to be able to hit a baseball, especially somebody like Glasnow throwing a curveball like that. But some of the adjustments the hitters made as the game progressed that 2nd or 3rd time through, I was really impressed that they were able to get some good swings against Glasnow, especially when you think about Ohtani and Rendon.
Was anyone talking to you? Did you hear any chirping down there?
Albert
good stuff.
Albert was great because I saw him going in. I said, he's going to grab the glove to play 3rd base there in the 9th inning. I said, well, Albert's great. He's one of the all-time great players, but he realizes how important it is to be able to just interact when you're friends of his. And he was like, going, way to go there. I'm like, I love being in that position. Same thing with Trouty and the rest of the guys. And Fletcher, Fletch. He's sneaky Fletch. He was over there laughing at me the whole time. And he was playing everywhere in the field. It was great to see him.
Gooby with the scoop, but don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to talk about Fletch.
Fletch lives.
Fletch lives. When we come back, don't go anywhere. Well, the Angels drop Game 1 to Tampa Bay, a final of 7-3 to open up this homestand. They may have lost the game, but as you can hear behind us, the fans are still having a great time here at the Big A. Welcome back to Angels Live. Alex Curry here alongside Mark Gubicza. Gooby, one of the bright spots tonight was seeing David Fletcher and his incredible defense. His first game this season at shortstop. I mean, he basically played second and shortstop all game.
And I think he played right field as well.
Yeah,
he fielded a couple ground balls well in the right field. So Fletch is one of those players where he can put any glove on that hand, he's going to make a solid defensive. Look how far he is in the outfield there. That's a long throw and off balance. So keep in mind, ground balls on the dirt, and then all of a sudden it's a different bounce when it goes to the grass. So he's always in position to make a good play. His hand transfer is so quick turning double plays, getting behind baseballs, but getting rid of it quickly, knowing there's some guys going down the line very fast. So Fletch is always getting rid of that baseball as quick as possible. But I love the fact is, you put him out in right field.
Yeah.
He's deep in right field, fielding a ground ball, because that ground ball on the dirt is going to have a bounce, and then it goes to the grass, and it's going to be flat, and then the way the grass is cut, it's going to go like a snake action. So he's got to keep his eye down there and know it's a longer throw than his normal throw at second base. So very impressive by Fletch.
What does it do for Joe Madden having a guy like David Fletcher? Just knowing, not having to worry, but you can put him anywhere and he's going to perform.
I still even go back to Ben Zobrist when Joe was down in Tampa, a guy that could play a number of different positions. You want his bat in the lineup. That's the bottom line with David Fletcher. He's going to make contact throughout every single at bat, but playing different positions, but playing it at an elite level. You go back to a couple seasons ago, he was a Gold Glove finalist at third base. You know, he's played shortstop. He was drafted as a shortstop. I still think his best position is second base. He's phenomenal at the second base position. A couple really good plays there. So anywhere Joe Madden puts him, he's going to save some runs defensively and have a lot of range as well.
What impresses you most? Something you've seen from David Fletcher.
Nothing bothers him. He's not afraid of any scenario. I just love the fact I look up there and his sign is up there. Here's a kid from this area, grew up an Angel fan, and his sign is up there right now. It's so incredible.
Cool.
I love that. See that from Fletch.
It's so cool.
He's a fan favorite. Everyone loves Fletch.
Everybody loves Fletch. These guys behind us love Fletch. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, hopefully hear from Joe Madden. Maybe get an update on Anthony Rendon. We'll take a look ahead to Game 2 tomorrow against Tampa Bay. Don't go anywhere. Well, the Angels drop Game 1 to the Rays, a final of 7-3. We did see some great action tonight. A home run from Shohei Ohtani, a home run from Anthony Rendon. Welcome back to Angels Live. Alex Kerr here alongside Mark Gubas.
By the way, how about that base running in the first inning by Shohei Ohtani? You skip him as far as the starting pitcher. He's in the DH role, and he ends up getting a ground ball, turns it into a double in the first inning. Tries to steal third, was thrown out, but still you see him using those wheels where he can fly.
You predicted that. You thought something big was going to happen today for Ohtani after getting hit in his elbow yesterday.
It's amazing how free and easy he was in a swing. You're dealing with a guy throwing 100 miles an hour and a spinning curveball as good as anybody in all of baseball, yet he was really comfortable in the batter's box, and that's something that Shohei Ohtani we haven't really quite seen yet to this level. He is really, really comfortable in what he's doing in the batter's box and on the mound.
It's fun.
And on the bases too, man. He can fly.
Is there anything he can't do? No, not at all. Now,
Mike Trout said no, he can do everything well.
That's true. Now, he was one of the home runs tonight. The other one was Anthony Rendon. Monster home run, but then unfortunately fouled a ball off of his knee.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Rendon is one of the toughest guys you'll ever see in the game, and he's been really getting locked in, too, swinging the bat well, and that one's, even the first out of the game, he had a rocket to right field, but that one's right off the knees. You got a guy running a fastball in a submariner, and it's right as full swing right off the kneecap, but hopefully Anthony Rendon is going to be okay. Like I said, there's no one tougher in the game than him, and he tried to stay in there, tried to move around, but there's no way he was going to be able to continue in the game.
Yeah, we're hoping to get an update from Joe Madden at some point tonight, and we're all crossing our fingers that he's going to be okay. Unfortunately, we haven't heard anything yet. We're not going to speculate. We just hope the best for Anthony Rendon and hope that he's back in the lineup tomorrow.
Yeah, he's so important to not only the team itself. Defensively, he's a phenomenal defensive player at third base, but he also gives Mike Trout that protection behind him. And you notice that when Mike Trout batting average, everything going up with Anthony Rendon hitting behind him, because the pitchers are going to go after him because they don't want to deal with Anthony Rendon either. So Mike Trout needs him in there. The Angels need him in there. Hopefully he's going to be okay. He makes the defense so much better when he's at third base as well.
Yes, he does. Now, we don't know who's going to be on the mound for the Angels tomorrow, but let's take a look ahead at the rest of the schedule this week, because we got Tampa Bay for another 2. We got Dodgers this weekend. Then they head to Houston and Boston. This is a tough lineup for the Angels coming up.
I mean, all these teams can swing the bat well, and the bottom line is, if you're going to win games, you're going to win series, you have to pitch. And Jose Quintana today, one of those odd lines, he had 9 strikeouts in his 4 innings, yet he still gave up 5 runs. So you have to avoid those big innings. That's the thing that's gotten the Angels, especially the starting staff, is those big innings. You just got to try to slow the game down just enough. Take something off the pitch and maybe get a ground ball out. Don't try to throw the ball harder, because then it's a flatten out over the middle of the plate, but avoid those big innings, because this offense will score.
Yeah.
We saw even against an elite pitcher like Glasnow, they got right back in the game. They battled all the way back, but they just, those 2 runs in the 9th inning were a big difference maker for the Rays.
So if you're Joe Madden, take us through what you're thinking right now, because Shohei Ohtani is technically day-to-day right now. He was supposed to pitch today. He said he might pitch a series. He might pitch against the Dodgers. What are you thinking this week?
If you leave it up to Shohei Ohtani, you know he's going to say, you know what, there's nobody on the schedule to pitch tomorrow. Like, I might pitch tomorrow. That's the way he is, and he'll want to swing the bat as well. It was great to see him in the lineup today. I think they're going to try to give him at least a couple of days to be able to maybe throw a bullpen session to see how it feels, because when you get hit in the arm like that as a pitcher, you want to make sure you have a feel, especially for that split finger fastball and the fastball and the breaking ball as well. So you want to make sure he's healthy throwing the baseball.
Yeah.
We know he looks good swinging the bat and running the bases. That's a plus.
Yeah, don't rush him. He's doing his work at the plate. That's all we got for you guys tonight. Gooby, great job with the players broadcast tonight. That was fun.
We were sprinting everywhere today. It was fun.
You were on the field. You were in the booth. That was such a treat. So there were some positives from today. Thank you for spending your Monday with us. We will be back tomorrow for Game 2, 6 p.m. For Jose Mota, Mark Langston, Mark Kubica, and our entire Valley Sport crew, I'm Alex Curry. We'll see you tomorrow.